Blog Talk Radio.
This episode of Video Marketing Madness is made possible by Aweber. Aweber, the easy way to do email marketing. If you want to be able to send letters to your... Excuse me. Well, boy, I'll tell you, this is a great start. I'm doing real good here, aren't I?
Talk more.
I know, exactly.
Take two.
Take two. If you want to be able to send newsletters to your email list and you want to build your email list, head on over to raythevideoguy.com/Aweber and see what we've got in store for you. We got some bonuses and, of course, the great Aweber service. So that's raythevideoguy.com/Aweber. And on today's show, all the way from across the pond, where it's a lot later than it is here, we've actually got Zak Loveday here, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about some things that he's got cooking. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we look forward to the show today.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.
It's the online marketing radio show, Video Marketing Madness, with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Video Marketing Madness and get plenty of useful tips and news of the week. And a reminder, if you want to see that stuff in your news feed, just head over to the page and like a couple of the posts. That's how it works. And then Ray's Facebook mastermind group is group/online video marketers, and you can get views for your videos and questions answered. We're live Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can join the conversation at 818-369-1423. Ray's video marketing tip of the week coming up at the end of the show. And you sound like... You sound like there's nothing left in your house anymore, right? There's a little echo there. What happened?
I am broadcasting live from my kitchen counter in an empty kitchen next to an empty family room with, lots of empty cupboards. So it's I should have put a blanket over my head. So did Carrie? She's moved out to California with the kids, and with one of them. I still got one still here with me.
Oh, okay. So do you have any furniture left there, or?
No.
Wow.
And the one sad thing is, and she probably did this to make sure that I get the rest of the stuff packed, she turned off the cable already, so I don't have any distractions other than doing a radio show. So.
Oh, bad times, the cable.
No cable.
Right.
Jeez.
But little did she know, where we're moving into an area of what people call a monopoly. So therefore, I finally will have Verizon doing our cable, and in the meantime, I can actually use my iPad and watch all of my Verizon stuff that we have in California from my iPad.
Oh, cool.
Little did she know I can still watch TV a little bit.
So did you all buy watch after you get off the show? It'll be turned off. Did you all buy a house out there, or?
What we did is we actually, because we've never, obviously we're moving to California. I've never lived in California. What we decided to do, because we're actually moving out there to live closer to Carrie's mom and dad, who are getting older and to be there. And, the sun certainly helps. But so what we've decided to do is we found a house near hers that we're actually renting for a year, or leasing, I guess, technically.
Uh-huh.
And then during that year, we'll find a house that we want to purchase or build, and we'll go from there.
Oh, that sounds good. So you got your house there in Morgan on the market, or?
You know what? Here's a great story, and I know this has nothing to do with video marketing, but
I know.
It's kind of gives that insight into life here. The rumor, and I say rumor, we had not even really decided to move to California. Somehow this rumor got out. I have no idea how. We had somebody knock on the door and offer to buy the house.
Oh, no kidding.
And then a day later, I got a phone call, and somebody else wanted to buy the house.
That is wild.
And then a neighbor up the street who was purchasing a short sale and has been there for about 6 months. Well, the short sale ended up falling through, And so now they have to move. They contacted us about buying the house, and I hadn't even said I was selling it yet, let alone listing it.
That's why.
So the house is already sold.
Wow, cool.
Yes. And for for what we would have wanted anyway. So it was kind of exciting. Didn't even have to put it on the market. No realtors involved, no realtor fees. So kind of neat.
That is very good, that. Literally, I've got a house here in England that we've had up for sale for about 7 years, and we've still not sold it.
Wow. Maybe I'll come and buy that and move to England.
Move to England. Zak Loveday is our guest today. Now here's what I said in the promotion. Now you tell me if I got this right, Zak. We're going to talk about your exclusive mastermind coaching program and how to make $4,000 in 4 days with affiliate marketing. Sound too good to be true? Listen to find out. Is that good?
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay. Now we're going to do news of the week first before Ray, starts chatting with you. But feel free to interrupt at any time because it's pretty loose. Yeah.
Jump in on that news of the day.
Yeah, it's fine. News of the week. Okay, this is a website called Read Write. READWRITE. And it says Google Plus is poised for big breakup.
Wow.
Yeah, it says major restructuring. It's going to be the end of the social network as we know it, if it ever was a social network in the first place. And they're splitting it into separate services called Photos and Streams. And Hangouts are going to remain.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I need Hangouts. That story, by the way, the rest of the story is over at the fan page. But yeah, that's basically what the story is. So that's interesting.
So what, Google Plus is just getting taken down completely, or?
Well,
be interesting to see, won't it?
Yeah, because it's still there. Obviously, I'm sharing all my videos on Google Plus when I post them. But all my interaction socially goes on Facebook because I'm old, And
I'm still Facebook.
So am I.
My daughter, my 18-year-old daughter, uses Instagram a lot, but she still uses Facebook. And I probably have to tell her what's newest and greatest. And then, of course, with the government taking over the internet, we won't have any new social media sites. So.
Well, we'll see about that.
I know. I'm just being sarcastic, or maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe not.
SearchEngineWatch.com. Google adds mobile friendliness and indexed apps as ranking factors.
This is huge. This is a big, big deal for those who are paying attention to it. We're talking about, if you've got a website and it's not mobile friendly, it can actually hurt you now. They're actually using mobile friendliness as a ranking factor, as has been rumored for quite a while, and it starts, April 21st, I believe.
April 21st, and it's going to be everywhere. All languages worldwide. It's a done deal.
Well, so you're going to have a responsive website, and then you'll be ranked higher in the Google results.
Yep, absolutely. So I would, if I were you, I would pull up your little lead scraper software and find all those sites that don't have mobile friendliness and start making some phone calls, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's a good little business strategy.
It's a good thing InstaBuilder came out with 2.0 is mobile friendly. That's good. Okay. Yes, Steve, it is.
Why, yes, it is.
SearchEngineLand.com. Google researchers introduce system to rank web pages on facts, not links.
On what?
Facts. F-A-C-T-S.
Oh.
Facts.
Oh, facts. What? I know.
I got this southern Wisconsin accent. Hey, use twos.
No, I think that's great. I think obviously the link building thing is starting to die out, and people have rumored it's the death of links for years, and looks like it might be true now, finally.
Well, they've got this thing they've been building called a knowledge base, because they couldn't think of another name for it. but it compares facts against their knowledge base.
Nice.
Okay, okay, knowledge. It's knowledge base, but then also knowledge graph. They call it. Too.
Now wait, we got a problem though. If it's going to be based on facts, wouldn't that mean like every political website's going to have to be ranked nowhere now?
That's right.
Since none of them, all of them have made up facts.
Since they all lie.
Who's going to decide what an actual fact is?
I got a company that I rep, independent rep for, and was talking to my contact there the other day, and he said, "Hey, are you the one that generated the lead for such and such bank?" And I said, "No, that wasn't me." And he said, "You should have said it was you. You gotten credit for it." I said, "Man, I can't lie to you like that." He said, "You'll never make it in politics. You'll never make it in politics."
That's true. Got to take credit where credit's not due.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Oh, eMarketer. I've been paying more attention to eMarketer. I've had a subscription to it for years. Video advertisers increase cross-device campaigns. Cross-device campaigns expand share of digital video ad impressions. It's 51%, and basically year over year. No, Q1 2014, Q4 2014. So basically year over year. It went from 17% to 51% of all campaigns. So wow. PC, mobile, and connected TVs. Nice.
Has anybody actually seen this on these connected TVs yet? I mean, I've got a connected TV. I've never.
I do. Yeah, I use it all the time. I've connected my one of my YouTube accounts to it, and then we'll go in and so far we've just been watching old Rodney Dangerfield bits from The Tonight Show on our TV, but on YouTube, But yeah, I've got mine connected to my. Zach, we're like really old, and we just got rid of a tube TV. Just blew up, and we were like, yay! So we went out and got a modern TV, and. We do the connected TV thing. It's kind of fun.
And we do have it. I just don't really do it in that way very often. In fact, the funny thing is all of my.
We brought your ugly mug up one night.
Yeah, nice. Well, the problem I have is that all of my years of subscribing to everybody's channel because they ask me to now makes it impossible for me to actually use YouTube as intended on a TV. So, like, for instance, and Zach, this will be up your alley a little bit, the UFC has a great YouTube channel. But because I'm subscribed to 843,000 YouTube channels, I cannot get to the ones I actually want to look at. So it's terrible. But,
No, I've run into that, too, So basically what I do is I just search on. I was going to say Google on but I search in YouTube on what I want to watch. So
right, and I have done that, yes.
And so joke videos. Where the one where the guy plays the joke on his wife that the truck is coming at him.
Yes, I do.
And stuff like that. Now, when I first got it, it was a toy, so I was doing it all the time. I noticed I'm doing it less and less, but still, I've got my. Well, see, and what I can do with my tablet is just say, hey, I want to see my tablet on my TV.
Yeah, that's always nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah, and so I think I'm doing that more than the connection I made with my YouTube channel, to be honest with you. So.
What? So you're linking up your iPad with your TV?
Yeah.
How do you go about doing that?
I'm just messing around and said connected devices on I got a Samsung TV and a Samsung tablet, okay? And it said connected devices, and I said, well, I wonder what this is. And all of a sudden something pops up on my TV. So you want to show your tablet on your TV? And I said, yeah, I didn't know it could do this,
Yeah, I do the same thing with the Apple TV and the iPad.
Do you? Okay.
I'll have to get an Apple TV then.
Yep, and I'll tell you this though, what's funny is it actually helps you to circumvent some things as well, because and again, I don't want to turn this totally into UFC Tonight radio, but
it's fine. Don't worry.
When I watch UFC events, I purchase them on my tablet, and then project them to the Apple TV because it's $10 cheaper than purchasing it directly on the Apple TV.
Yeah.
Nice. So can you do that with the Mac as well?
What's that?
Can you do that with the Mac as well to an Apple TV?
You can, but I believe on the computer it's also $10 more expensive as well. I don't know why.
The UFC, yeah.
Yep, they charge $10 more if you order it on the Apple TV or if you order it on your computer, but it's cheaper on the iPad or the iPhone, and then project it. And still HD, so I don't understand why, but there you go.
Because they're trying to get you to use those,
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just use it to watch YouTube videos or something like that, because in England, couldn't even talk then, we've got BT Sports, so all the UFC stuff is free. We didn't have to pay anything. We're lucky.
That is pretty lucky. Dang, I spend 12 times $50. Yikes.
Well, and for Netflix, I use the tablet too because it's easier.
Absolutely.
It's just easier than using the smart TV because that takes forever to look anything up. So.
Well, see, on the Apple TV, the Netflix is actually pretty good. I do use it on there all the time.
Yeah, I've had pretty good luck with it. Well, I've tried it a couple of times, but I've had pretty good luck with it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Netflix on my Xbox 360. So literally after a long day work, you can just link it up to that, watch a movie. But the American Netflix is so much better than the UK version.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you guys have got like all the big shows, like How I Met Your Mother. You got the entire season, Friends, all that stuff, and then I think there's a movie called The Interview that's just come out. It's in cinemas right now here, but in America it's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
I believe it is. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Or it was. I'm not sure if it is all the time.
It's on YouTube as well.
Well, the movie is.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with that?
Oh, it was just honestly. Some people say it was more of a publicity stunt, but supposedly North Korea hacked Sony and threatened movie theaters, if they showed the movie, and so Sony they contacted Apple, and it was on a weekend, and Apple basically just told them no, and so then they contacted Netflix and YouTube about putting it up onto there instead of putting it in theaters, and it sold a billion copies of it just because. The controversy, I don't even know if it's a very good movie. Some people said it wasn't very good, which wouldn't surprise me. It didn't look very good, but so now they're saying, well, maybe it was a publicity stunt. Who knows?
Well, for me, all it has to be is stupid. It doesn't have to be good.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. The Interview looks funny.
Yeah, funny or not, the stupid part definitely is there. Whether it's funny or not, that remains to be seen.
What's it essentially about? It's about the leader or something, about them going down to...
Yeah, it's two I guess they're reporters. Is that what it is, Steve?
Yeah, two reporters, and they're going to go interview what's the leader's North Korea? Kim Jong-un. Yeah, dear leader. They're going to go interview dear leader, and so the CIA get in touch with them and say, we want you to off the guy when you're interviewing him.
And then what, did he come in and say, I don't want this movie to be aired?
Oh, well, he flipped out and, threatened people and everything else like he always does.
Craziness.
Yeah.
But shows the power of video once again.
That's right. Okay, here's another one from eMarketer.com. Instagram is going to top 100 million users by 2018, and it's bigger than Twitter now.
Yeah, that's shocking and yet not shocking at the same time. I still don't quite get the whole Instagram thing, but I do use it and I try it. And I will say this, whenever I post anything, I get more reaction from Instagram than from Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's something about Instagram that is just addictive. Once you start going on Instagram, you get signed up, you're immediately hooked to it because it's all visual, it's all images, and you can just be scrolling down there, the news feed or whatever they call it, for hours and hours, looking at different pictures.
We interviewed, I don't know, this might be a year ago, a guy that wrote a book on how to market with Instagram. Remember that, Ray?
Sure did. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I remember at the time thinking, wow.
Yeah.
I can't even think of his name now. I can picture him. I've got his picture in my head.
That was back when we did the Hangout simulcast. But his wife designs clothing, and then I think she somehow sells it on eBay. She gets it manufactured and sells it on eBay. I'm connecting a lot of distant dots in my memory, but I think that's it. But what she does is she posts pictures of it on Instagram.
That's brilliant. Boy, I'll tell you, when I was doing a lot more like the Teespring stuff, I didn't even think about doing that, but that's probably, everyone's probably going, you idiot. But, that's a really smart way, considering the reaction I get so quickly. I mean, I'll post, fact of the day and things like that, and within seconds, I've got people sharing and liking it. I mean, my phone tells me every time, and it's literally within seconds people will start to react to it.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, I was reading a book about Instagram marketing, and what people do is, say they pick a niche, for example, the Teespring stuff, like all about T-shirts. They'll go around liking other users, and then those users will like them back. And then when you post that stuff on, more people see it. It's crazy how it works, but you can build up a massive following, like 400,000 followers on Instagram, and then just sell your T-shirts to them.
Yeah, that's basically what this guy was doing, Zach. I mean, that's in a nutshell, that was it.
Maybe that's the book of it.
Guess I'm going to hear from me for like a month now, because I'm going to be busy doing that now.
Well, in fact, I remember, Ray, when you first started using Instagram, you took kind of a goofy-looking picture of yourself, and then it was on Facebook, and immediately there was just all kinds of disparaging comments about you there. Oh, I was one of them, and your sister was the other.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
As it should be. That's the way.
Yeah, that's right. I think I said something like "to the moon, Alice" or something like that.
Oh, that picture, yes.
Yeah.
Can we see the picture?
That's a good question. I know I have it. I'd have to go search it up, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Looks like you'd just gotten a haircut and taken a shower. Anyhow, Instagram, it's at 64.2 million people now, and they're saying by 2018 it'll be at 106.2 million. Then
I think it'll be there a lot sooner than that. I can't believe they're putting it that far out.
Well, that's what they're saying. I didn't make this up.
How many have Twitter got at the moment?
See, that's the funny thing is, I thought that Twitter had over 200 million already.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Twitter's they're saying 48.4 million.
Wow.
That's what it says here. Yeah.
Must have lost a lot or something.
I don't know.
How many's Facebook?
Facebook is over 1 billion.
Yeah. Facebook.
See, now I'm looking up Twitter right now, and it says they have 284 million active users as of December 2014.
U.S. This is U.S.
Oh, U.S. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Now that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
I still don't even have a Twitter account, so I need to jump on that.
I have one, and I post things to it, but I'm a terrible Twitter user. I really am, and I admit it. I
use it for.
I don't quite get it.
Oh, sorry. I use it for the news feed. I got breaking news and the local newspaper and Bloomberg and a couple other things and some of the banking thought leaders, because I still work in the banking industry a little, but I don't. I used to interact a lot. I just don't anymore. I'm more on Facebook.
Well, I know people who they'll run their whole business through Twitter. Everything. So
how do you even use it? I don't understand it.
Well,
you do an app and then you link someone in, or
yeah. What I did when I was one of the first people to jump on it, and what I looked at was I started with about 10 people I knew really well in the banking industry in the United States that I knew were thought leaders, and so I what do you call it? It's not friending. It's but I reached. What'd you say?
Following.
That's it. Following. That's how little I've used it the last few years.
It's creepy.
Yeah, and I'd follow them, and then they'd follow me back because they knew my name, and then I'd see who was following them, and I'd reach out to those people and follow them, and then they'd follow me back, and then we would start interacting with each other, mostly sharing information. Like, I got a new blog post, please read it. I read this article on banking, or we'd just make stupid comments, which I'm especially good at. And so I was doing that quite a bit. I mean, I was sharing quite a bit of information, getting a lot of interaction with it. But then, I kind of realized that I'd saturated the banking industry and I needed to get into some other things. So I just, quite frankly, don't have the time to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But I still use it for the news feed. I still keep track of those people, and every now and then I'll give them a hard time. But
it's very similar to having your Facebook messages and all that, and because you can send private messages back and forth. So a lot of people run their businesses that way. You can tag people and send things back and forth that way, and post your latest updates and things. So it's interesting. I've just always, I don't know. I've just always stuck with Facebook for whatever reason. But
yeah, Facebook. I've stuck with Facebook as well. But the thing is about Twitter, I tried it once. This was a while ago, a few years ago, and I didn't understand how it all worked. So I would try to private message a friend of mine, like a private message, and I tweeted it, so everyone ended up seeing it. So I did the complete opposite of what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you got to do it. What's called a DM, a direct message. That's what they call it. But
that's what DM means. Because on Facebook it's PM, isn't it? Private message.
Yeah, usually PM or message or whatever.
It's DM as Twitter. But what I found, and here's the reason why I was using it, Zach. I found that a lot of credit union marketing directors and a lot of, which is the banking industry, it's just credit unions, and a lot of bank thought leaders were using it. And so I thought, well, I'm going to jump in on that. I'm going to become part of that. And if it leads to some business, fine. If not, I just want to be a part of it. So that's why I did it, because the audience was there, the people were there.
Well, and I'll tell you what makes it unique is the fact that you can have conversations with people that you otherwise would never be able to connect.
Well, that's right. Yeah, that's right. There was one guy that Ron Shevlin is his name, and he is he is an analyst, a banking analyst, and he's very well known in the banking industry, and he writes almost a daily blog. I think he does 3 blog posts a week, and a nice guy, kind of a major smartass, so that's why I always liked him, and I would meet him at shows and stuff, but that was about it. I really didn't interact with the guy too much, I mean, he gave me a copy of his book one time, but he maybe kind of remembered me, but all of a sudden I became friends with the guy on Twitter.
Yep,
that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, I mean, you could end up having a conversation with, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, sure. Well, you get to meet people. I mean, Brad Pitt might be an extreme example, but it happens. but you get to meet people you wouldn't otherwise meet.
Oh, sure.
I
know. For instance, and again, boy, it keeps coming back to this today. But Dana White of the UFC.
Yeah.
He's constantly fighting with people on Twitter, like random fans and things.
Yeah, he's always on there, isn't he? Like doing messages and then private messaging people. That's the thing about Twitter and Facebook and the whole social media space online. You have the ability to talk to like people who you wouldn't normally talk to, like celebrities and even people in business. You can network with different people. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you don't have these social media sites, you don't have the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's how I met Ray, was through Facebook.
Yep, absolutely.
I told him I was a 34-year-old tall blonde woman.
It worked. He said I'm a 34-year-old tall blonde woman with a GoToWebinar account. Want to do some webinars?
Want to do some webinars, big boy?
And that's how I met you guys as well, through Facebook, through all that different type of stuff. So
yeah,
it's crazy how it can work.
Mm-hmm. Poor Zach and I, we go back and forth on Facebook, 800 times a day on some days.
UFC every night.
Did you see that? Holy cow!
Okay, last story from eMarketer. Are we watching the death of SMS? Traditional texting? I don't know. I mean, well, anytime. I mean, it's a headline to get your attention. Okay, so you got to take that with a grain of salt.
Does that include iMessaging on the iPhones?
Well, they're saying like WeChat is becoming very popular.
WeChat? I've never even heard of that. I've got WhatsApp.
Right. Let's see. It's not uncommon to see smartphone users with their heads down texting, and SMS is losing its share of the action thanks to the rise of over-the-top mobile message services such as WeChat.
I would assume Snapchat is probably the
Snapchat. Yeah.
Yeah, Snapchat. Yeah.
And
that's huge now.
Traditional SMS text dropped 2% globally last year.
Wow.
I mean, that headline was meant to get your attention when you saw it.
Sure.
But still, I thought it was of note.
The point is still there.
Yeah, the point is still there. So, you got any news, Ray?
I do not.
Okay.
I'm like I said, I'm half cut off here. I'm in an empty house.
Oh, that's right.
And now for something completely different.
Oh, well, here we go. Go for it, Zach.
Now, I was just going to talk about the UFC some more.
Okay, well,
that's fine. Go for it.
I was going to say Ronda Rousey is still the champ.
She is indeed. In fact, you want to talk about viral video? I think people are viral videoing her entire fight, and actually, the ironic thing is, I've actually seen more people putting out videos of Chris Cyborg's fight this past weekend. Believe it or not, that's the one I've seen everywhere.
Did she win? I missed that one.
Oh yeah, she won in 60 seconds or something like that.
Oh wow, that's insane. Also, another thing on Ronda Rousey's fight, I think this is the first time in Instagram/UFC history you can put the entire fight on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because normally there's like a 15-second time slot, and the fight was like 14 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that was my news of the day, guys.
That's good.
All right, well, let's move on.
And now for something completely different.
There it is once again. All right. Well, as we've mentioned, our guest today is Zak Loveday, and he's got some cool stuff that he's been working on. We wanted to chat a little bit with him because he is into the whole affiliate marketing area, which we all know and love. So, Zak, welcome to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself so we kind of know who you are and what it is you do.
What up? I just want to say thanks for having me on the show, Stephen. Ray, really appreciate it. Basically, long story short, I started online when I was 11 years old. Found out about a site called eBay. Immediately fell in love with it. Started listing, running around the house, looking for anything I could to put on there. Then, yeah, literally, I was so excited because it was so different. Normally, I was in school, selling sweets to kids, making 50 pence profit, which was just amazing. And then I found about eBay. I could connect with people around the world. So I ran around the house, found my dad's old watches, put them online, found mother of pearl globes that my dad and my family purchased off teleshopping, listed them all on eBay. Looked the next day and expected to have loads of money in my account, and I didn't make one sale. I was absolutely gutted. It was horrible. It was awful. But I saw that there was potential with this whole online thing, and I decided to stick with it. A few years down the line, I actually built a 5-figure per month eBay business in sales doing drop shipping. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of drop shipping before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing drop shipping, purchasing from China, America, all over. Then
I've been dropped on my head. Does that count?
No.
Okay.
That doesn't count. But basically, yeah, drop shipping is like a form of arbitrage. So you're the middleman, and then you buy something for maybe $1 and they sell it for $3. You profit $2. And that's always something that's interested me, arbitrage. So I built this eBay business, and then long story short, eBay changed the whole search algorithm. So all the sales that I was getting just completely went away. I was absolutely gutted because my entire eBay business overnight just changed. And basically what they did is they made sure that only the top guys on eBay were placed at the top of the search results. Kind of like how Google works with all the SEO stuff and stuff like that. And then from there, what I had to do was make a choice, stick with this whole eBay thing and learn it all over again, or go to university, learn business from the great minds at university and pay £9,000 a year, which is like $15,000 a year. So I decided to do the latter, decided to go to university. About 4 months in, I was in a lecture, bored out of my mind, just, oh my God, pulling my hair out. And I was thinking to myself, why am I studying business from people who don't even run their own online successful businesses? And that was like a big epiphany for me, like an aha moment. So I dropped out of university 2 weeks later, and I decided that I was going to give it my all with this whole affiliate marketing, internet marketing thing. Struggled with it. So basically I burned the boats because I dropped out of university. I had no other choice. Struggled with it for 2 years. Literally, I thought it would just be a breeze in the park. I'd just do some stuff on with affiliate marketing, make some money, and it'd be easy. But it was nothing like that at all. I went through trial and error over and over and over again. The people closest to me that I thought would actually support me, they were to begin with, But as soon as I was like missed out on going to like meals and events and didn't have the money to even get my hair cut, that's when they started saying to me, listen, you need to quit what you're doing here and get a 9 to 5. And there was just something in me that always stopped me from going for that 9 to 5 job. Like always, that business thing inside me told me, listen, stick at this because it's just right around the corner. And that's one of the biggest things I've learned, like on this whole journey, is that people are closer to their goals than they think they are. And the moment when you're just about to give up on something, that's when you're closest to your goal. Just keep on taking action, keep on being persistent. That's exactly what I did. I found out about arbitrage, how you can sell services online. Basically what I did is I found out about the system, how you can purchase, you can sell a logo to someone on Craigslist for $200, then go to a website called Fiverr.com and pay someone, a logo designer, $5, and then you pocket $195 net profit. As soon as I found out about that, I was running around the house just like I did when I first started with eBay, absolutely buzzing, really excited. And then I made money my first day. I made $75 my very first day. 30 days down the line, I kept at it, made just under $1,500. And this was after I went 2 years without making a penny. So I was buzzing. But yeah, that in a nutshell is my life story. And now where I am right now in my business is with the money I made from that, I've taken everything to the next level, and I've got into affiliate marketing, list building, product creation, all of the above. And to be honest, this is the best way I've found to make money online.
Nice. And I have discovered I've run a same path actually. Going back 2 years ago, I had been doing internet marketing for a long time, but it was all for other people. It was, I'm going to help the local plumber by helping his online presence. And I'd never really done a lot of stuff for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and I remember, it was only, it couldn't have been more than a year and a half ago when I first made enough money in one whole month to pay the mortgage online. Oh. And I'm thinking, wow, I made it, passive income, I made enough to pay the mortgage. And that just blew me away. And of course, things just absolutely snowballed from there. And same type of thing, list building, affiliate marketing, and product creation. And it just absolutely dominates, and they all work together. So let me ask you this, how did you get yourself started, literally? Obviously the Fiverr thing, which I did the Fiverr thing as well, but I did it in the opposite way, actually. What I did was I found things I could do for $5 without having to do anything. And I sold things on Fiverr. So in other words, I'd just get an ebook, sell the ebook for $5 and have to just paste a link. And, and then I turned that into, why don't I sell that ebook but have them go to a page to download it and offer them something else on that page, which, Fiverr probably doesn't like, but, they never seem to cause me any problem. And same as you, all of a sudden Fiverr was bringing in, hundreds to a couple thousand a month. And, then when I got into the bigger and better things, I kind of let the Fiverr thing drop a little bit just because I got too busy. But, it's a great way to start. For anybody looking, hey, I want to start making money online, there are things you can do with Fiverr. Absolutely. Both ways, arbitrage or selling simple little things that don't take a lot of time. But how did you get started in the affiliate and the product creation side? I'd love to hear that part of things.
Yeah, sure. Basically, I think it was 2010 around that time, I found out about a website called Chris Farrell Membership. You guys ever heard of that before?
Chris is actually a good friend of mine, actually. So.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so I joined his membership. The amount of value he provided in his products, everything he was doing was absolutely insane. And he basically taught me, obviously not one-on-one, but through the membership, exactly the process of internet marketing, how you set up a squeeze page, then you drive traffic to that squeeze page, you build a list, then you provide value, you build a relationship with that list, and then you can start selling different stuff to that list. Maybe it's your own product or affiliate offers, and that's how I got started with this whole internet marketing, affiliate marketing thing. It was through Chris Farrell. So definitely when you say hello to him, tell him I said hey.
No doubt. No, Chris, we actually worked on a few projects. We did some live events called SAM here in Utah, a couple friends. Actually, one of them is actually from England, and actually just moved back there about 6 months ago. So got to do a lot of cool things together with those guys, and had a lot of fun. And obviously, they're brilliant to learn from. Chris is absolutely. I believe he is the number one internet marketer in the world, both in money and in rating, as far as reliability rating. I think he's got the highest in IM report. And
so he's always on IM report, talking about it.
Yeah, if you're going to learn from somebody, he is absolutely the best to learn from. So.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. I actually came across his stuff, and then did it for a little bit, but didn't really give it my all, have that clarity, that focus. But then I came back to it a year later, and I actually rejoined his membership. And by that time, he'd redone up the website and everything like that, and it looked incredible. And what he had on that website was a journal of when he first started online, and that was the game changer for me, because seeing someone as successful as he is now, and seeing what it was like for them day in, day out, and just writing up reports of how they felt, what they got done, really changed everything for me, because that's what made me take massive action. It just made me think, if he can do it, and he was a complete beginner like I was when I was first starting, I can do it too.
Yep, absolutely, and that's completely the case. You follow the masters, and I'll be the first to admit I've made every mistake there is, because I was too much of a cheapskate to pay some guy to teach me. And so, and I really, it's true. And to this day, I'm still kind of that way, which is awful. But so I had to kind of just do it all myself. And, it probably slowed me down by huge amounts, but, eventually kind of figured it out. And I'm sure that, what I need to do is I need to get an even higher level coach now to look at it so they can laugh at me and tell me everything I'm doing wrong, because I'm sure that most of it I am doing wrong, because I kind of just developed it myself. But, so it's definitely a great thing to do, is to have your own coach to get you through those things. And I wish I had done that sooner.
Yeah, I agree completely, because basically there was something I was going to say then I completely forgot. When you're talking and then you're about to say something, then it just completely goes blank. You ever get that?
All the time. As you can hear right at the top of the show today.
I especially get that when I'm smoking pot. That's about it. That actually is a joke. Ray knows that. No, I don't do that.
Yes. Steve often tells me he doesn't do that.
Anymore.
So basically, I'm just going to talk anyway. Maybe you'll come back to me. Yeah, but
you know what happens to me is I'll get up and walk into the next room and not know why I went to the next room.
Oh, it happens to me all the time.
You know what that means, Zach? You got a lot on your mind. That's all it is.
Is that what that is?
High intelligence.
High intelligence, yeah.
I guess I'm really intelligent then, because it happens to me every single day.
Either that or you're just doing a little too much of the crack. You know what I'm saying?
So I actually remember what I was going to say now. Yeah, so basically, it always happens like that. Basically, when I first started online, everyone always asks me, how do you do this online? You're so clever, you're so this and that. But the truth is, I've just failed so many times at this that there's not much more to fail on in that area. Do you understand what I mean? I just know the solutions now, because I've failed so many times. It's like Thomas Edison. How many times did it take for him to do the light bulb until he got it right?
Thousands.
Exactly. But with a coach, you cut out all of that trial and error and get straight to the action steps that are going to start producing results for you.
Oh, that's perfect, and I completely agree with that, because I know I've done the same thing. I've made all the mistakes, but and part of it is I remember my first product, and I'm sure you do as well. And I put out my first product, which was a YouTube marketing course, and technically it was actually graphics, and the course was supposed to be just kind of thrown in there for free, but that's what people really gravitated towards. I remember putting that out, and the first weekend it made $500. And I remember being so excited over that $500, which it's a good amount of money for a weekend, I guess. But, It's not $1 million. It's not $100,000. But I remember being so excited by that $500 because it was the first time that I had personally made money online, at that point in time. And it was very exciting. And honestly, had that $500 not come in, I'd probably not be doing any of this right now.
See, that's the crazy thing. When you have like one of those life-changing days like that, it doesn't even have to be a lot of money. It's just like a message to you that says, like, oh my God, this actually works. What I'm doing works. And then once you get that, your brain kind of goes, this is working for you. Just take massive action because I'm more certain that you're going to get results now. And then you just take massive action. You get more results. You become more certain. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that YouTube video with Tony Robbins, Frank Kern, and John Reese, where they talk about this.
I don't think I have. I'm going to have to watch it, though. I thought I'd seen most of, the things out there that Tony does, but...
Yeah, I highly recommend you watch it. Just type in on YouTube, Frank Kern, Tony Robbins, and then it'll come up. But basically what they're talking about is like how they all started online. And what Frank Kern says is he was on holiday or something like this, and he made $1,300, and he wasn't even there when he made that $1,300.
That's almost the identical story to my $500 story because we had gone away for the weekend, and I had my phone, and my phone was just telling me, "Oop, oh, you just made a $5 sale. Oop, you just made a $500 sale. Oop." And next thing you know, it was $500, and I was like, I'm not even there. This is amazing.
That's the crazy thing about the online business. You wouldn't be if it was. Like, don't get me wrong, the Fiverr Craigslist thing that I talked about at the beginning of the call is great. It's awesome for newbies and stuff like that. You can make a ton of money doing it, an extra $2,000 a month or whatever. But with a business model like this, you just take action, you set the foundation of it, and then you can remove yourself from it, go away on holiday for the weekend or whatever, and be making money whilst you're away.
Yeah, that was one of the big revelations because, as I've mentioned before, I mean, I've only been in this market for less than 2 years of doing this. And, I went on my first vacation while I've had this business really going. And I would even say that only over the last year has it really taken off to where it's significant enough to be the main income sort of deal. And I remember, we went on vacation in October, and I remember being a little scared, but I set everything up beforehand. I automated it all. And guess what? While I was in the Caribbean, money kept coming. And when I got back, it was like I hadn't even left. Every day the money had still come in. And it just, that really blew me away. And that was only in October. So that was only a couple months ago that I really learned that lesson, that, things can keep going without me here for a few days. And, we were really able to enjoy that and see that happen. And it was quite exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Like the thing is about this, once you get into this, it kind of hooks you in, and then you become addicted to it, and you've got to kind of find that balance between going out with friends, family, enjoying yourself, and working, because when you build a business like this, it's not like work, it's a passion, it's something you get excited, it's something you're excited, you wake up in the morning, you're excited to do, so you've really got to find that balance when you do it.
Oh, that's so funny to hear you say that, because I struggle with that every day, because it's enjoyable, it's neat. Oh, I'm going to set up this today, and you get all into it, and next thing you know, it's 7 o'clock at night, and you're still sitting at your desk, and you're thinking it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and your family's like, "Hey, you ever going to come up and have dinner?"
Yeah, that's what we were saying. We were chatting just before we started the call, and I've literally got I'm on 4 hours of sleep right now. I'm just super excited about working on my business, and I looked outside the window, and I still thought it was light out, and it's pitch black now. So I've really got to sort that out, but yeah, it's this isn't just rhetoric. I mean, this is totally true. I mean, it does. It gets addictive, and the big thing that I learned over the last year is that you have to really set goals for it too, and then try to achieve those goals. And that, to me, the mixture of getting a little bit of success, starting with that $500, which to me is a very little success, but it's enough to get that fire going. Every fire starts with a spark, and that was the spark. And once I realized that, then it was just get it going. And then this past year was the year that I really set goals, because up until then it was always like,
when I made that first $500, then I didn't do anything with it for, a couple months. And then I put up another product and did better. And then a couple months later, another product. So I wasn't making, hundreds of thousands of dollars or anything like that. I was just making a little bit of money and still dealing with my clients and whatnot. And as that started to grow, it just snowballed to the point where it's like, okay, this is a lot more money than I've ever made in my entire life now, let alone, just some extra spending money. And, it just keeps growing. And month after month, it gets bigger and bigger and better and better. And, and I see this with other guys too. Another friend of mine, Mike from Maine, I've been following his things where he actually has been posting how much money he's made each month. And to watch that path go from where he made, $1,000 in the first month to where he's at, $30,000 a month now. And it's unbelievable. It really is. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was actually on the Mike from Maine show earlier today. And he's an awesome guy, Mike. But the thing is, I love seeing marketers that have got that transparency about them, where they show you from start to finish exactly where they started and where they are now. And Mike always does that. I think they call this monthly income reports. Yeah, and basically, he goes into detail about how big his list is this month and how much he's made from that affiliate offer. And it's just something you become addicted to, because you kind of start at the same point as him, and then as you go through each month, you can see he's taking action every single day. He's setting more and more goals every single day for himself, and you can see the progress that he's making.
Yep, and Pat Flynn does the same thing, and of course, Pat now is using much larger numbers, but he does the same report deal, and it's amazing to look at, and it's amazing to see, and they're so detailed. I don't find that I'm that detailed, so, and I need to be more detailed. That's one of my goals this year, is to really see, what is it that's actually working, and do more of that. I pitched or I promoted an SEO product, but it didn't really sell as well as this video product. Okay, let's do more video products, that kind of a thing. That's one of my goals for this year, is to really see what path really starts to do well with my audience, and kind of go down that even more. And obviously, no matter what business you're in, you need SEO at some point. You need some form of SEO for your website. So it has its appropriate place. But, I know that promoting less often for that.
You're Ray, the video guy, though, so,
Oh, absolutely.
Makes sense. Well, Zach, let me ask you, your mastermind coaching program, okay, how to make $4,000 in 4 days. Now, I don't want you to give away the program on the air, nor would you, but just tell us a little bit about it. And I buy the program. What can I expect?
Okay, so basically, I just love being completely transparent about that, so I'll just go into detail about it all. Basically, what it is my core business model at the moment is product creation. So I've currently got a launch, we're launching tomorrow, March 5th, and it's called Affiliate Arbitrage Blueprint. And basically, what I've done for this mastermind coaching program is I've recorded over my shoulder exactly what I've done from the very start of this launch to the very end. So from planning the product, creating the product, setting up the website, networking with JVs, building relationships with my list, building a list, all the way to the actual launch, and then making money with the launch, which is tomorrow. And I'm going to be recording everything I'm doing, all the sales I make, everything from start to finish. So it's a complete case study of an entire business model from start. Like, literally, I walk you through purchasing the domain name, setting up the name service and the hosting, all the way to making money with that business model. And the reason why I've done it like this, I've set it up like this, is because, like we were talking about, people like Pat Flynn and Michael Thomas, they're completely transparent about their business, and it's so interesting to see all of these income reports and stuff like that, because it makes you feel like, as the viewer, you can do that as well. Like, if they can do it, I can do it. And that's what I really want to do for my customers. I really want to make sure that they get the same feeling, like I'm starting from the very beginning with them, all the way with a business from scratch, just an idea in my mind, then materializing it into physical, creating the product, setting it all up, then launching that product and making money with it. So if I can do it from the very beginning to the very end, and they can see exactly what I'm doing step by step with nothing left out, no fluff, no BS or anything like that, then they can just follow along. I'm giving them it on like a silver platter. They just follow along, And as long as they take action with it, they can see the same kind of results.
Oh, fantastic. That's a neat idea. That's something I've always thought about on things that I do, but I've been too lazy to do it. So, congratulations for doing that. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Steve. Literally, it would have been a lot easier for me to just say, hey, this is what you do, go and do it.
Yeah.
But, oh, my God, I've had to record every little thing I've done for this launch, so everything took 10 times longer. But you know what? Looking back now, it's completely worth it because I know I'm really going to over-deliver for everyone.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting.
Now, one bit of question I'd like to ask about that. Now, one of the things that I run into with people when we talk about these types of things with the product launch and whatever is, I hear from people, well, yeah, but I'm just a plumber, or I'm just a chiropractor or whatever it happens to be, how does this apply to me? And I try to tell people all the time, it's like, people need to learn something from any industry as long as you have the right audience. So what do you say to people like that who kind of, well, yeah, but I don't create products that, teach pay-per-click or whatever. How do I do that?
So basically, in my honest opinion, this whole online thing, business, whatever you want to call it, is 90% about your mindset. And that, for me, that's a limiting belief. That's just something they've got in their mind. Oh, I'm the plumber. So they're putting a label on themselves saying, oh, I'm just a plumber. I can't do it. Well, I started out being a waiter. And if I had that mindset, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Do you know what I mean? I'm not some guru or anything like that. I'm just a normal, regular guy. And I promise you, if I can do it, the people listening on this call right now can do it as well. It's not hard. It's just what a lot of the quote-unquote gurus do. They try and confuse you and complicate it so they can sell more stuff to you. But what I've done is I've literally gone from the very beginning to the very end, so it's completely step by step. And I've not missed anything out because in a lot of the products that come out nowadays, they assume you know how to purchase a domain name and they assume you know how to set up the name servers with the hosting. And although that's really basic stuff, 90% of people that I know don't even know how to do that. So when you kind of walk them through how to do that from the very beginning and then you keep that same training structure all the way to the very end, I don't care if you're a plumber, if you're my 10-year-old niece, it doesn't matter who you are. All you have to do is follow along, and you can do it as well.
Nice. Now let me ask you this, because obviously you've been creating products for a while. You've mentioned that that's kind of your thing now is just product creation and affiliate marketing. When you're creating these products and you're putting together all this stuff that you go over in there, are you typically doing all of that yourself?
All of the product creation?
Well, not just the product creation, but the sales pages and the graphics and all that, or are you hiring people out to help out with that stuff? Yeah,
basically, like you were saying before, you said, you want to focus on what's getting you results. I think that's called the 80-20 rule, where you focus on your strengths and then you outsource your weaknesses. For me, product creation is kind of my thing. Like I'm big on arbitrage and stuff like that. So what I teach is how you get other people, other JVs to promote for you during your launches so that you don't have to deal with any of that. So I'm the middleman there. I'm just networking with people, offering value, and then they'll promote for me and send all the traffic for me. So that's something I've outsourced right there off the bat. Then another thing I outsource is sales copy. I'm no copywriter guru person. So what I do is I outsource it straight to my copywriter, which isn't even expensive at all. It's just $50 for the sales page.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. Like, a lot of people pay like $500 for a sales page.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get that resource from you.
Yeah, I'll give you it, man. And it's literally insane. For I don't know about if the people listening in on this call right now know a lot about JVZoo, but they've launched 4 people on JVZoo, this copywriter, and they've got JVZoo product of the day on Broadway Plus. They've got WSO product of the day. The conversions are insane. So it doesn't even need to be expensive to outsource that. And you don't need to become some copywriting guru. You could outsource your weaknesses and focus on your strength. And I think that's one of the key things here. What a lot of people do is they just get this what's called information overload. So they really try out all this different stuff all at once, and then 2 days later, 3 days later, they give up, they quit because there's just so much going on. What you really need to have in this business is really have that clarity and that laser focus, and having a goal gives you that.
Now, let me ask you this: what about like partnering? Because this is one thing that I've thought of a lot of times. Is, I know what my strengths are, and I know what my weaknesses are. And of course, one of my weaknesses is letting other people do anything. But one thing one thing that I've thought about is, what about taking on a partner, where maybe maybe one of us is great at creating these modules and these trainings, but maybe the other person is great at sales pages and copies and Facebook ads, that kind of a thing. What do you think of that? Have you ever thought about that process?
Yeah, completely. I highly, highly recommend it, especially if you're first starting out on with this whole product creation thing. If it scares you to maybe create a product and you're a good copywriter, then go and talk to someone on Warrior Forum or find someone on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter that is inside this market. Contact them and let them know, hey, listen, I'm not very good at creating products, but I'm an awesome copywriter. Do you want to partner with me on this product? And stuff like this happens all the time. It's called joint ventures, and it's crazy how much money you can make by just putting yourself out there, maybe stepping outside your comfort zone and contacting people and saying, hey, listen, this is my strength, and I'm looking for someone who can do this. Can you do it? And then from there, you jump on Skype, you talk, and then before you know it, you're building a six-figure business together. That happens every single day inside the internet marketing niche market.
Yes, it does. And speaking of which, for those listening, I believe you and I have a product we have to work on together since I won a little bet.
I was literally just about to say that, Ray. I was just about to say that. Just give me a Skype call whenever and we'll talk about it.
Now, the sad part is we have no idea what that product will be, but...
We've got to come up with some UFC contests.
Okay, so you guys bet on a fight?
We did. We bet on a fight. I don't even remember which fight it was now.
Okay.
I think it was the DC fight, wasn't it? John Jones in DC. I don't even remember.
Was it John Jones in DC? No, it was Conor McGregor in Seaver.
So it was a gentleman's bet.
It was a gentleman's bet. Yeah.
In fact, I think the stipulations were like I think the stipulations were if you won, I had to partner with you. But then afterwards, we were like, yeah, we'll just do it anyway.
Yeah. And then you ended up winning, and you were like, let's do it.
That truly is a gentleman's bet, then.
We need to do it, though. We need to stick to it.
Yes, we do. I need to stick to it because it's funny, and for those listening, I would love to get your opinion on this, because here's what I've found is that $500 product that I've mentioned way too many times today.
I bought that, by the way. I was one of the first people to buy that.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, when I created that, I literally here's how it went down for me. I purchased a WSO from John Thornhill. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys know John. John's a good guy, and I didn't know him at the time, but he had a thing called WSO Domination, and I'd seen everybody else doing WSOs. So I bought that. I went over it on, it was like a Friday night, and it was a Thursday night. And the reason I remember is because we went away over the weekend, like I said. On that Thursday night, I went through the product. On Friday morning, I created the entire product, and it was on as a WSO that afternoon, from start to finish, and wow. Beginning to end. And, that's kind of how it started for me, was that quickly. Well, now I find that I have a product idea, and, I've got to plan it out, and I've got to collect JVs, and I've got to, work with these guys on this and that. And the next thing you know, what made me money and even my big breakthrough product, same type of thing. I put it together in like 2 days and launched it and made, more money than I'd ever had in my life. And it took me 2 days to do the thing from beginning to end. And now it's like this, month-long process of creation and strategies and partnering. And, how do you find that? Do you find that you've seen the same thing, that, these things have gotten so much bigger now?
Yeah, I mean, the market is constantly changing. You used to be able to just launch something on Warrior Forum, create it in a day, and make a few $1,000s. Like you said, you created that within a day or so and then made $500 while you were away. It's absolutely awesome. But it doesn't really work like that as well as that anymore. What you really need to do is really plan this out. Like, you've got to treat this like a business, not some not something you're just doing and hope it works. You've really got to take massive action with this. But the amazing thing about it is when you take action with this and you fully commit, I'm not talking about 50%, I'm talking 110% all in, you'll start to notice changes, not just in your business, you'll start to notice changes in yourself, you'll be happier, then that'll lead onto that'll like snowball effect, you'll start eating healthier, going to the gym, balancing out your life, if you can do that because you're so excited about your business. And then from there, you start planning stuff out and setting yourself goals. Then you reach that goal. Then you make a bigger goal. You reach the next goal. You make an even bigger goal. And each success like spirals onto the next success. What a lot of people do is try and look at this big thing like, oh, I've got to do all this different stuff. It's just too much time. Just take it in baby steps. Keep it simple. Just do that first thing first. Maybe you've got to buy a domain name. Focus on that. Purchase the domain name. Maybe next you've got to plan out the product. Then once you do this, you'll start to build momentum. You'll feel progress. And Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. Progress equals happiness. I completely agree. When you're progressing in whatever it is that you want, like your goals, you'll start to get excited about it. You'll be more passionate about it, and ideas will just flow to you. Then, you'll start to find new opportunities. People say, these successful people are lucky. I've found that the more action you take, the luckier you get.
Absolutely.
And, it's crazy. And as you take action with this thing, you set yourself goals, you achieve those goals, you'll start to get new opportunities. Maybe you're struggling with product creation, and then someone comes along, and then they'll create the product for you, and then you can focus on networking. You don't have to do it all at once. Just start. Just take action. You'll feel that progress, and that'll lead on to the next success.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And on top of that too, what you definitely find is, after you take that action, after you have even just a small success, because that first product that I had 0 affiliates, none, because I didn't even know that you were supposed to get any. I just knew you were supposed to make a product and get it out there. And of course, after that product had been out, after that first weekend, then affiliates started to jump on board with it, and it ended up selling pretty well, which shocked me even further. But once you start to do that, well, the opportunities they come to you. There's not a day that goes by where I don't hear some sort of ding on Facebook where somebody's like, hey, I've got this video product. You got to check this out. And you'd think, oh gosh, these guys are annoying you or whatever, but it's not. It's so wonderful because, 6 months ago, I used to have to scour JVZoo and see what's coming out. And, now they come to me and say, hey, check out my video related product. And, it gets you access to the products. It gets you able to test them and review them, because that's a big part of it, I think, is, I don't like to just blindly support a product. And I know this kind of goes against a lot of the IM thing. It's like, well, yeah, I promoted your product. You got to promote mine. And I've never been that way. It's like, well, okay, you promoted my product, but your product stinks. I'm not going to promote it, that kind of a thing. And that has happened. I haven't told people that. I've just said, oh, I'm booked or whatever. But, there have been products where I've gotten a copy, I've reviewed it and thought, this is a horrible product and I'm not going to promote people just because they promoted me. But, the point being is you get a lot of the really good stuff and you can test a lot of it. And I do. I spend a lot of time testing people's products before I promote them, looking at their products, getting to know the person.
Trust. Trust thing, and then what happens when you roll your stuff out, people trust you. And there's one example I remember where you were going to do a webinar with some guys on a product, and people in the mastermind group just, oh, Ray, run away, these, this is not good, and a whole bunch of people were like that. And it wasn't just, I mean, there's a handful of people in there that will just piss on your promotional post just to piss on it. That it wasn't that. I mean, they were legitimately concerned about you being involved. So you said, okay, look.
I did. I canceled it.
Yeah, you canceled it. I've heard 50-50 on this, but I'm getting enough negative feedback. I'm going to cancel it. And your trust factor went way up. I mean,
and I had been told by somebody else who had done it. They're like, yeah, I made $80,000 off that one webinar.
Yeah.
Wow.
And would I have made $80,000 off of that? I don't know, maybe, but. Honestly, to me, it was just, it just didn't feel right. And I had enough people say they'd been burned by these particular people that, we just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And so we canceled it and, I'm fine with that and, move on to a bigger, better day.
Exactly, that's the thing also. You mentioned how people came on and said, oh, I've been burnt before. That can be annoying for trustworthy marketers like us, because we're genuinely looking to help, excuse me, we're genuinely looking to help our subscribers and provide that value. And if we see a product that's not good for them, there's no way we'll promote, because we want to see them get results. And when there's other marketers out there coming up with all these different products just to make a quick buck, it kind of ruins it for other people.
Oh yeah, in fact, about a month ago, might have been a little longer than that, I got to review a product, and here's the thing, and people question this all the time. I don't post negative reviews of anything. If it's a good product, I post positive reviews. If it's a bad product, I just put it aside and forget about it. I'm not out there to try and take anybody down or anything, but I went into a product that was a YouTube related product, and I went through it, and I was just astonished because this person was talking about different ways to make money with YouTube. And one of the ways that he was telling people and giving explicit details on how to do is something that wasn't even available in YouTube and hadn't been for over a year. It didn't even exist anymore.
Wow.
And it blew me away that, this supposedly brand new product was being pushed out there by somebody that people know. And one of the big make money with YouTube things in there was, it's something that didn't even exist anymore. You couldn't, it's not that, it just doesn't work anymore or anything like that. I mean, physically, you could not go to YouTube and do that anymore.
Yeah, I remember when I purchased a $500 product, and it was all about driving traffic. Like, that's what the whole product was about. I'm not going to name the name of it, but there was actually modules in it for each traffic source. And one of the modules was all about Google. And everything he was sharing there didn't work like now, and it had just come out, which is just crazy to me. Like, I would never create a product and let that happen. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, are you kidding? I feel bad when people buy some of my products now because the inside YouTube it now says Creator Studio instead of what it used to say. And I'm like,
completely.
I gotta redo that whole product now, and I feel bad that people are buying this product and, the button looks different now or whatever. I mean, everything in it still works. It's still the exact same thing, but it looks different. And, I sit there and go, I gotta, update that. But the beautiful thing is, nowadays with, the advent of membership sites being so big is, something like that changes. You can just re-record that one video and repost it and, it's all fresh again, which is great. But, that kind of thing concerns me. And I know right now on some of my products that I've got to do some updates because of that. Things are in different places and whatnot. Even though the strategies and everything still work 100%, some of the buttons look different or, the layout's slightly different because YouTube changes that, on a weekly basis.
Yeah, exactly. I'm exactly the same. Right? Because when I first started creating products, I had the absolute worst perfectionism. It's not even a word. I was a perfectionist, and I'd get in front of the camera, I'd do a video, and it would take me about 30 times to just do a 30-second intro video. It was absolutely exhausting. Like, I absolutely dreaded having to set up the video, set up the camera. The tripod would fall. I didn't even have the right equipment. But even then, when I did all that and I had that all set up, and say, for example, something changed, say it was like a Facebook product or something like that. I haven't come up with a Facebook product, but say it was. And then Facebook changed the way the whole Facebook site looked. I'd have to do that all over again. But I would happily do that for my customers because I want to make sure they know exactly what to do step by step rather than just assume they know how to work the new Facebook, if that makes sense.
You're right. No, it totally does, and I get that perfectionism thing is a big problem, and I've certainly run into that many times, where it's just I got to redo that, I got to fix that, it's like, come on, people, and I see it all the time, we get a lot of the great products come from all sorts of parts of the world, like people in India. I've got a lot of folks in India that put out some great products. And, I always get a chuckle out of it because, for instance, there's if you remember a product that came out a while ago called Freshzentation, which was a make really high-end videos using PowerPoint. Well, they've got a new product coming up soon, and it's awesome. I mean, it's so good. But I sit there and I laugh because, you look at the templates and the English for the examples and everything is so all over the place that you can't help but laugh, But imagine if they sat there and worried about that because, the templates are fantastic and you're going to change the text in the templates anyway, so it really doesn't matter, but it would never get put out,
It's called being anal retentive.
Yeah, it really is, and I think it's more important that a lot of these things get out there if they're good.
Well, if you wait till everything's perfect, you never get anything done, as the old saying goes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's better. Perfect action beats, perfect creation that never gets released. Yeah. And it's, that was just a terrible mashing of the old phrase that I can't recall. You get the point.
Yeah, we got the point. Hey, Zach, what's your website? How can people find you and stuff?
Yes, sure. My main website is zakloveday.com. That's ZAKLOVEDAY. And I always get skitted for my last name, Loveday, because I love the days.
Well, we won't talk about Sleeper.
I'll Sleeper.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. No, and that's good, and I really look forward to the launch that you've got tomorrow, because I think that is vastly important to so many people.
Yeah, that's so cool that you have that over the shoulder all the time on that, and obviously you've edited it and stuff, but yeah, good for you. That is really fantastic.
Thanks, I really, really appreciate it. And the thing is about that, when I actually first started product creation in a completely different niche, I actually created an entire product. It took me about 6 months, and then I finally finished it. And every one of the videos inside the product was me talking to the camera, so you can imagine how long it took me to do that product. But I wasn't happy with it, and although it was great and everything, and if I put it out there, it would have got sales, I wasn't happy with it. And then I just deleted the whole thing. And that for me, it was awful, because it's not that the product was bad or I did the right thing there. I shouldn't have done that at all, because it all comes back to this being perfect, like being a perfectionist. It can really stop you from taking that action, because what it is, in my opinion, it's just you're scared of what people think of you. That's what it was for me. Yeah. But when I started getting more into this internet marketing space and seeing the other products and seeing how well they were doing, that product that I created was far superior in terms of the way it was laid out and the product and stuff like that. Because I was always trying to get the perfect punctuality and try and make sure the words were in the right order and there's no mistakes whatsoever. But when I found out, you can make mistakes, people don't mind, that's when it all changed for me. And I stopped being this perfectionist and just took action.
Zach, years ago, I worked on the radio and put myself through college working nights at a radio station here in Omaha that actually had some listeners at the time, so, and I would get off the air and I'd think, oh man, I really did a lousy job. So what I started doing was recording myself, and they have this machine that whenever you turn the microphone on, the cassette deck would, this is how long ago it was, the cassette deck would turn on and record you, and then when you shut the mic off, it shut off. So all you had to do was listen to when you were on the air. You didn't have to listen to all the music and stuff. So if you were on for a 5-hour shift, you could listen to your telescope air check in 10, 20 minutes. I go back and listen to it, and you know what? It was fine. I thought it sucked. It was fine. So it just goes to show you that how you're perceiving it is probably different than how, you're your own worst critic, and really what you have to do is find a way to perceive it the way the audience perceives it. That's the most important thing. That's hard to do.
Yeah, completely. The best way I did that is that I was the worst perfectionist you can come across. I'd create anything. I'd look at the time. If I was trying to do a white background for a video, and I saw the tiniest, because I never did it properly. I didn't know how to do it. But I just recorded myself in a white background, none of this green screen stuff. And then if there was the tiniest bit of shadow in the corner of the video that only I would notice, I'd delete the video and start over. It was just literally crazy how bad. It was awful. But the way I stopped that was just ignoring that little mind, that little evil Zak inside my head that was stopping me, and just took action, and that's what changed for me.
Yeah, but I feel your pain. I know what you're talking about. So
it's hard. It's awful.
Before we get you out of here, because I know it's getting late there, and you haven't had a whole lot of sleep, and you're getting ready for a big launch tomorrow and everything. I just want to quickly touch on the list building part of it, because you did mention how important list building is.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about your opinions on list building and the best ways to create a list. Okay,
so basically I talk about this all in my course, my Affiliate Arbitrage Blueprint. Basically, when I say started with this whole internet marketing thing, I was told to build a list from day one. Unfortunately, I didn't do that, but if there's anyone listening in on this call right now, I'm telling you, build a list starting today. But there's two types of lists you can build. You can build a freebie list, or you can build a buyers list. Basically, a freebie list is when you drive maybe solo ad traffic to a squeeze page and then offer them an incentive to give you their email address and their name, and then in return you'll give them an ebook. Maybe it's an ebook about Facebook marketing, and that's a freebie list. They're signing up for something for free, and then you give them something back. Freebie lists can be good. I'm not saying don't build them. I'm saying a buyer's list is 10 times more powerful than a freebie list. A lot of the quote-unquote gurus say that a buyer's list, you can make $10 per subscriber per month. Now, I don't know if that's true, but if you know how to monetize that buyer's list, you can make much more than that. So what I'd highly recommend to anyone listening in on this call right now is don't just build a list, build a buyer's list. And the way you can do that is through launching your own product. So there's a few different ways of doing that. One of them is launching your own product. Another one, I go into detail inside the Affiliate Arbitrage Blueprint tomorrow. And because a buyer's list buy over and over and over again, I would much rather prefer to have a buyer's list of 500 people than to have a freebie list of 50,000 people, because I know that I could get those buyers to buy over and over and over again. And there's one more thing that I want to mention here, is that when you have a buyer's list, they're proven to buy. So that means you can send an email to them promoting an affiliate offer, not even your own product that you have to create, but promote an affiliate offer, and they'll buy from you over and over and over again, as long as you provide that value, actually offer products that are related to your list, and build that relationship with your list.
You know, it's funny you say that, because people ask me all the time, you know, what's the best way to build a list? What's the best way to build a list? And I tell them all the time, create a product.
Yeah.
You know, because that's exactly what it is. Even if it's just a simple WSO where they're paying $5, $7, $9, you know, they're paying to be on that list. They're buying something, and you know. And, you know, as soon as you mentioned the $10 per subscriber, I kind of did the math in my head, and that's pretty accurate. You know, I would say $8 to $10 is what I get per month per subscriber on the
crazy.
So.
It's crazy, isn't it? And then basically, freebie list, they say, oh, it's $1 per subscriber per month. I'm not sure you can even get that with a freebie list. I mean, if you know how to monetize it and stuff like that, it's just it's a hell of a lot easier to build a buyer's list. All you have to do is create a product. What you can even do is create an ebook about something you've had results with. Put it on the Warrior Forum. Put it up there for $1, just $1. And then the reason why you're doing that is because you're not doing it for the money, for the dollar, because if you get 100 sales, it's only $100. But what you're doing is you're building a buyer's list. So even if they buy as small as $1, that's amazing, because they've taken out their credit card or their debit card or their PayPal account, whatever it is they're paying with, and they've paid you. That means they're a proven buyer. Then you can promote related affiliate offers or your own products to that list, as long as you're there to provide value. And also, there's two different ways of to email your list. There's the churn and burn method, which I highly do not recommend, which is basically where you promote offer after offer after offer after offer until the list just isn't responsive anymore. And then there's the relationship building method, which obviously all of us, we all know about. It's what we apply to our businesses, where you build a relationship. You actually talk to your list like it's a real person, like it's a friend of yours. And when you do that, it's personable to them. Your conversions will be higher. They'll be happier. You'll be providing value to them. You'll make more money, and everyone's a winner.
Beautiful. No, I completely agree with all of that, and I think that's a great way to end this. So, you know, for anybody interested, obviously Zak is the real deal here. He understands exactly how to do this. And, quite frankly, what you're doing is what I do as well. And, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it if you give it the time. And I think the big thing you mentioned there is treat it like a business. Mm-hmm. Because that was kind of my biggest problem. And it was like, oh, yeah, it's kind of a hobby. But once I took it seriously and said, you know what, if this was a business, how would I do this? How would I act each day? And, once you did that and you took it seriously, it took off. And, there's just no looking back. And quite frankly, there's not a job on earth that I could possibly get that would pay what I make off of doing this. None. I can't think of any that would do that. So
and that's the amazing thing about this business model. You can do it. You control how much you make.
Now, you sure male prostitute?
For some people, maybe that would work, but no. In my case, I think I would not make nearly that.
Okay. Oh, Zach, one of my jobs here is to make inappropriate comments. So.
Yeah, I guess so.
It says it on his business card.
Yeah.
Inappropriate commenter.
Steve Sleeper, inappropriate commenter. It doesn't pay real well, but I have a heck of a fun.
It's a good time that was had by all, though. So, no, Zach, I greatly appreciate that. And again, anybody looking to learn about this kind of stuff, I highly recommend you check out the new product because it is really cool, and it certainly delivers on exactly what you're talking about and helps you to build that business. And it's called Affiliate Arbitrage Blueprint, and I will certainly be promoting that quite heavily. And, we'll have some great bonuses for that as well. Not that we're turning this into a webinar now, but just to throw that out there, that will be the case. And we will send out emails for that and everything. But I do highly recommend this because I know that exactly what you're talking about in this and exactly what you're doing is what has really completely changed my entire life. So I can testify that it is well worth the effort, well worth the time, and quite frankly, will work a lot quicker than people think. Start it off, don't quit your job today to do it, but 6 months from now, you might be quitting your job. So there you go.
Yeah, completely. I agree completely.
So, and that's the big day, by the way, is the day that you can get out of the 9-to-5 job, assuming that you want to get out of it. And I know some people who do this kind of thing and they don't leave their job because they love it. Yeah. And they make more money doing that than they do their job, but they stick with their job. They're a teacher, they're a this, they're a that, and they really like it. And I know a few people that have done that. In fact, hopefully we're trying to get one of them on soon. Although he did finally leave his day job. But for years, he continued his day job while he ran a pretty darn successful business doing this kind of thing, and even had employees, and he'd leave for work every day. Okay, employees, I'm going to work now. But you can do that, and it is possible. And I know the biggest thing is everybody sits there and says, "Oh, come on, nobody really makes money on this," or worst of all, well, yeah, you make money telling other people they can make money, but you can't really make money. But, we've had people on that have showed that, you can make money doing all sorts of different things online. And it's better, you're going to make more than any other job, assuming that you do it and you work hard at it. It's not going to happen today, but you can start today.
Well, and the big thing, though, it's got to be something you want to do. It's got to be in your wheelhouse. You've got to be passionate about it.
Oh, yeah. And it depends on the passion, too. Yeah. Because, for instance, one of the things that we did for quite a while until the government kind of changed some things around and whatnot, we had a diet program that we sold. And I'm not passionate about diet programs, but you know what? I was passionate about seeing those traffic numbers. I was passionate about seeing the where it fell on Google every day, seeing how the videos did. So even though I didn't really care much about the product, I didn't use the product, it wasn't anything in my wheelhouse, I was passionate about everything else about it, and I had a partner who was passionate about the diet part. So
yeah, I agree completely, because when you're working on a business like this, like actually loving the product you're selling is just a bonus on top of it. but you don't even need to love the actual product. Obviously, you provide value, but you don't even have to have a passion for that. You can have a passion for your reason for why you're doing this. Maybe you've got a 9-to-5 job and you hate your boss. Maybe that's like what's driving you to do it. Or maybe you want to live on a beach, live in a house on a beach with an amazing view, or get a Ferrari, or maybe just like have the money to look after your family. Whatever it is, that can be the drive that motivates you, that pulls you and pushes you to take action.
Yep, and I'll tell you, some of those things sound cliche and all, but I do know a couple people that do the whole living on the beach, and I do know, some people that have bought the super fancy sports cars. And so, if those are your passions, this is the way you can do it. And again, I'm not trying to turn this into a sales meeting here or anything like that, but I'm just, testifying that, it's definitely the case.
Infomercial, as Carrie said.
Yeah, well, yeah, she did say we sounded like an infomercial on our first episode back a year and a half ago. But
Ray's wife. And so, Ray called me and said, Carrie thinks we sound like an infomercial. And my response was, okay, good.
Sounded like the those fake radio shows that show up on Sundays.
That's right.
They pretend like it's a radio show, but it's really just a thing for some diet product or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and how you can tell it's not a fake radio show is I make inappropriate comments. So.
That's right.
That's true.
And I'm not big into dieting products either.
No, well, I know the joke is there.
Yeah, because I was trying out for the part of fat bastard in the next Austin Powers.
But unfortunately, your accent wasn't good enough.
I wasn't good enough. I am McGregor.
Are they doing another Austin Powers movie? I'd love to watch that.
I would hope so, but I haven't heard anything yet. So
yeah, I don't know.
It's been a long time. I think the last Austin Powers movie came out the same year that the first of the new Star Wars movies came out.
Oh,
that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Well, I think he just kind of ran out of ideas. It was kind of obvious with the last Austin Powers movie that maybe he had tapped that creative well.
Well, I know he came out and he said that if he could just do an Austin Powers movie every couple of years, that's what he would just do for the rest of his life. But
yeah, I bet he has a lot of fun making them. Was he Fat Bastard as well? Was that
he was.
And then he was the Evil Knievel, or whatever his name is.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah. Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Hey, I got to interview him like 20 years ago. Him and Dana Carvey, they were in town and I was on air. I was doing Sunday afternoons at this radio station. I was just playing radio at the time. And so I come in around noon. Guy says, hey, you're interviewing Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. And I thought, well, I'm glad I watched Saturday Night Live. I'd really be stuck,
You're going to be interviewing Michael Myers.
And, and it was great because all I did is I said, hey, guys, I'm probably not the best interviewer in the world, but I watch you guys all the time. So, you'll be fine. We'll fill it in. So I just basically asked them questions on, where all their characters came from and stuff. And,
I want to know to this day, and now this show's going in a total different direction here. Yeah. I want to know to this day why they never used the fact that his name was Michael Myers to do a Halloween spoof.
Oh, yeah.
I never quite understood that because I remember the first time he was on that show, I'm like, Mike Myers, ha, 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 thinking of the killer.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But they never quite did. I don't know why. They should have done that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, that's here nor there. We're now into 40 years of Saturday Night Live. And
that's right.
Steve was around for the first one.
I was 20 years old, so I'm giving away my age, but I was 20 years old when the first one came out. We used to have Saturday Night Live parties at my house.
Oh, when I was a kid, we did too. And back in the heyday, what I call the heyday. I know some people love the first couple seasons and all that, but I think the heyday was kind of that right before Mike Myers jumped in there. So when it was the Phil Hartmans and
Joe Piscopo, Eddie Murphy.
That was pretty good too. We used to get into that, but it was that next crew that really kind of cemented it.
The first 5 years were amazing because there had never ever been anything like that before, and there was a sense of humor that appealed to essentially an audience that was ignored on network TV.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, we don't really get Saturday Night Live over here. That's the comedy stand-up stuff.
Yeah.
It's like sketch comedy.
Like Chris Rock and...
Yeah, Chris Rock, Chevy Chase, John Belushi. I don't know who's on it now. I haven't watched it the last few years, but...
It's actually not too bad. There's nobody on it that really, completely stands out.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon's doing the Tonight Show, and Amy Poehler's on Parks and Rec. Yeah. So it's a pretty good little show. It's just not a lot of real big names yet. Hopefully over time they'll rebuild that, But they go through those periods quite a while, and then they send them into a room and burn it. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys ever watch Russell Peters?
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of him? I think he's hilarious.
I do too. Yeah. I think it's funny.
He's so funny, Russell Peters. Russell Peters and I always forget his name, Lee. He did Big Live at the O2. He's retired now. I can't remember his name.
I don't know who that one is.
Lee Iacocca?
He's definitely retired.
He used to be Lee?
Lee Evans. That's the one.
Oh, I don't really know who that is.
No, I don't know.
Speaking of comedy and people with British accents, I love the guy that does this Last Week Tonight. Have you guys seen him? I think it's on like HBO, but they put everything on YouTube. Oh my gosh!
I got
John Oliver.
Yes, that's the guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Who is it?
John Oliver.
Okay.
Hysterical guy. I just crack. I mean, he doesn't even have to be saying anything, and I just crack up. He's that good. And
he's the guy with the glasses, isn't he?
Yep, that's the guy. And like I said, I only see people post things from YouTube all the time with it. But
I'm writing that down, John Oliver. Yeah, I gotta see him.
It's kind of like a Daily Show type thing. He comments on the news, but he's actually funny.
I'll just Google it in YouTube. Search on it in YouTube.
Yeah, so. That's the only way I knew the name just then, by the way. I just Googled Last Week Tonight.
Yeah, excellent stuff. But anyway, all right, Zach, we have kept you on, I think, longer than almost anybody in history here on the radio show, so we're going to let you go get some rest.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight, but I've got some stuff to do.
Well, or take a nap or something.
All right.
Yeah,
I appreciate you taking all this time because, it is well worth it, and, we're glad to have had you on. We've learned a lot, and we've picked up a lot of cool little insights, and so we appreciate you taking the time to do that.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right, and we'll be in touch and continue betting on Rumble versus Jones shortly. So
I've got Rumble, third round TKO.
I said Jones by decision. So, but I am very.
I can see another bet coming on, Ray. I can see another bet.
I know, and I'm very I'm not very solid on that pick, but we'll see.
You've been solid the past few picks, like every time you've got it right.
Yeah, I've had a pretty good streak, although this past weekend was a pretty easy one to do, except for Mark Munoz. Other than that, it was a real easy one to pick. But
yeah, I was shocked about that as well.
Yeah, it was kind of sad, really.
I know. It's crazy to see how he's not doing as well anymore. And Mark Munoz won, didn't he?
No, he lost. He got tapped out in like 2 minutes or something. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't actually get to see it because, like I mentioned at the top of the show, they already turned off the cable here, so I could only watch the pay-per-view. I couldn't watch the actual prelims. So.
Oh no, I was surprised he was on a prelim card as well. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, they kind of put him in. They always put a strong one as the quote main event of the prelims to get people excited, and so that's why Uriah Faber usually gets thrown in and whatnot. So, kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it does. That's a clever marketing strategy.
well, Zach, we'll let you go here.
Yeah, absolutely, and good luck tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a big day for you, and I'm excited for you. I think it's going to be cool.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Take care.
See you later. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Ray, you got a tip of the week?
I do, and I'm actually going to go back in history a little bit.
Okay. Well, let's.
And now, it's important.
Tip of the week with Ray, the video guy.
That's right. It's the tip of the week. And, you know, this is something that we actually talked about. This is one of the I think it was the very first tip of the week that I gave. But I think it's important enough that we need to kind of bring it back again because it's a very cool tool and it's completely free and it allows you to spy on your competition on YouTube. And it does it right inside the YouTube page with a little Chrome plugin. And the product is called vidIQ. So for any new listeners, you're going to want to check this out. For any old listeners, you're going to want to go and check this out again because it is well worth it. If you want to know the tags that your competition is using and you can't see it anymore, you can use vidIQ and it'll show you right there on the screen. It'll show you all their views and their likes and all of their tweets and Facebook shares and all that kind of fun stuff, completely free of charge. And you can get that at vidIQ.com.
Very cool. Yeah, that is a great plugin. In fact, I found out about it when we first started doing the show, and I use it quite a bit. You know.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring it back up because I know there's probably a lot of new listeners who have not seen that before, so I felt it important to check out.
And for people that know about it, it's a good reminder to use it because it is there and it is free, and it's neat to be able to see the tags that your competing videos are using. So. And, you know,
there's a lot of great software that does that for you, paid software and whatnot, but if you want just a nice, easy, right in your face as you're watching the video view of all these things, you can do that right from there. So that kind of makes it interesting and unique.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Fabulous. All right. Well, I guess that wraps up the show for another week, and we'll have a show next week. We already got a guest for it, so.
Yes, we do. Should be quite interesting.
Yeah, but good show today. It was interesting to talk with Zak and what he's doing. So
it was, and like I said, I talk with Zak all the time because we do have a lot of interests in common, but we hardly ever talk business too much. I mean, we do to an extent, but not all that often. So to hear some of his backstory and everything, that was all stuff that I didn't really know too much about either. So it was good to hear. And like I said, it's funny because it parallels my journey quite evenly. It's a very similar journey that I've been through. So it's neat to hear it.
And the product is called Affiliate Arbitrage Blueprint, and basically he just put a camera over his shoulder for however long he needed to put it over his shoulder while he was doing all the work on this thing.
Yeah, so anybody looking to do product creation, and everybody really should. I mean, I can't stress that enough. Everybody should be looking to create their own product, no matter what it is. I mean, if you're just good at, creating graphics, teach people how to create graphics or provide graphics for them. That kind of a thing. Pre-made graphics. If you're a plumber and you've done well at Google Places, Google Plus, Google My Business now.
Google My Business. I can
remember the name.
Yeah, I know.
So if you're good at setting up Google My Business and you're a plumber, well, create a product that teaches people how to do that for local businesses, or even specifically to plumbers. Or maybe if you're a plumber, maybe you're creating an ebook on how to, fix a common drain problem. Something like that. I mean, you can do anything, and you can do well with it, and it builds authority for you in your business. It if it's a side income, it builds a nice side income. So all these things are great. And, I know plenty of people that, I talked to somebody the other day that we all know who used to be a police officer. And, now instead of getting shot at, he makes, an absolute ton of money.
Wow, cool.
And I know a couple of police officers that have left that business, that profession to get into this. And, I know some school teachers that have. I know some school teachers that are still school teachers because they love it, but they make more money outside of being a school teacher.
But what's the common thread there? School teacher, policemen, they're hearts of a servant. They want to be of service.
No, absolutely.
I think you've got to come from that. You've got to have that kind of heart. Otherwise, you're just going to be throwing stuff out there and upsetting people if it doesn't work and stuff like that.
Sure. So, and another surprising thing that I find all the time that fits right in there is I find quite often that some of these guys that are producing products, that are selling products that I've known for a while, and I had no idea. Some of them are pastors,
Yeah.
You know, of churches and things of that nature, and you know, names that you would recognize, but you had no idea that that's what they really were. And obviously, you know, in most cases, those guys don't make a ton of money, and in some cases, they don't make any at all for doing it.
Depends.
And
what
so
yeah.
it's really good to see them being able to do that, and you know, still serve in their mission, and you know, and maybe your calling isn't that celestial. Maybe it's more just, you know, providing better for your family, or, you know, getting braces for your kids, things like that. All of those things are great motivators for getting into something like this, to either make extra money or to replace your income completely. And you know, 2 years ago, I never would have thought that this kind of thing was real. I would have completely thought, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And, you know, for good reason, because I know some people that have turned out to be absolute frauds as far as that goes.
Oh, yeah.
But I also know from experience, not only my own experience, but from some people that I have gotten to know, that it absolutely is something you can do, and anybody can do it if you're willing to put in the time and the effort. So there you go.
Okay.
That's the Jerry Springer,
the Jerry Springer.
What did he used to call it on his show? You know, he'd have all this craziness on, and then he'd have his little, you know, minute where he did like a moral minute type thing afterwards.
Yeah, you know, I haven't watched that show in a million years, so I don't remember it, but I know what you're talking about. So. Okay, buddy.
All right. Well, thanks, Steve. I appreciate everything you do. And for all the listeners, we appreciate you, because you are the backbone of this great show, and we appreciate everything that you do. And so be sure to check out Zak's product tomorrow, because it's you know, it's put out there as a way to serve people and to help people. And you know, I know it's a wonderful product for anybody looking to do this. So check it out, and we'll have some bonuses and things, of course. So there you go.
It's the Online Marketing Radio Show, Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper, and our guest today has been Zak Loveday.
There you go.
Had a brain fart there. I'm going to do a course on how not to brain fart, but his new course is Affiliate Arbitrage Blueprint, and it truly is a blueprint. And today's show made possible by,
as always, not always, but as often, it is made possible by Aweber, the easy way to build mailing lists, which we talked about today, as well as to contact all of the people on that mailing list using newsletters and other sorts of emailings. And you can check that out and see the bonuses that we have available for anybody who purchases an Aweber account at raythevideoguy.com/Aweber, and that's AWEBER.
And like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Video Marketing Madness. Get plenty of useful tips and news of the week. Ray's Facebook Mastermind group is groups/online video marketers, and get views for your videos and questions answered.
Yes.
And let's do the jingle and call it a wrap. Work for you? Okay. Works for me.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.